Every Halloween night, someone vanishes from this small town. No one sees the killer, no one hears the screams, but every year, a body turns up. Sometimes, not even whole. What if I told you this could happen to anyone, even you? Tonight, we dive into the chilling story of the killer who only struck on Halloween nights. It's a quiet place, too quiet. Streets lined with rotting pumpkins, their faces sagging into twisted shapes. Old houses with cracked windows that seem to watch you. And when the clock hits midnight on Halloween, the air feels heavier, as if it's holding a secret the town refuses to speak of. For most, this place was just another dot on the map. But for Emily, it was a fresh start. She moved here only weeks before Halloween. A new job, a new home, and the promise of a quieter life. She was like anyone else. Loved Halloween. Loved the thrill of costumes and candlelit nights. She believed the stories were just myths told to keep children indoors after dark. But she had no idea what was waiting for her that night. They say it started 30 years ago, a single disappearance. No one thought much of it at first, but the next year, it happened again, and the year after that, always on Halloween, always the same way. Every Halloween, someone vanishes. No fingerprints, no witnesses, no evidence of a struggle, just silence. By dawn, the only thing left is an empty home, and a name crossed off the town's records. Some believe it's a man, a killer who never aged. Others say it's something else, something not entirely human, but no one really knows, and no one dares to find out. The town's population drops by one every year. Police try, but they never solve it. Locals whisper about a curse, a bargain made long ago that can never be broken. Emily didn't believe any of it. She laughed off the stories, but a few nights before Halloween, she noticed something. A shadow, long, thin, following her as she walked home. She turned around, nothing was there. She dismissed it. She shouldn't have. As Halloween crept closer, small things began to feel wrong. At first, it was barely noticeable, a chill in the air that didn't belong, a silence too deep for a town this small. One evening, Emily stepped onto her porch and found an envelope. Black, damp from the rain, no name, no address. Inside was a single pumpkin seed, and one word written in red ink. She laughed it off at first, a prank, she thought, kids playing games before Halloween, but the feeling lingered. That night, as she lay in bed, rain tapped gently on her window, and beneath it, something else. Footsteps, slow, careful, moving just outside her house. She held her breath, listened, nothing, and then she saw it. Through the foggy glass, a figure, standing across the street, too still, too quiet, watching. She blinked, and it was gone. The smell of damp earth clung to the air. The silence was so heavy she could hear her own heartbeat, loud, fast, uneasy. She turned around, but no one was there. Or at least, that's what she thought. Halloween night arrived. The town was alive with flickering lights, carved pumpkins glowing faintly through the downpour. Emily joined her friends at a small house party on the edge of town. Music played, laughter echoed, but something about the night felt off. Even inside, it felt cold, too cold. As the clock crept closer to midnight, the atmosphere shifted. The laughter grew quieter, the music slowed, and then the lights flickered. Once, twice, and then black. Darkness, total darkness, then a scream, loud, piercing. People ran, chairs toppled, glass shattered. Something moved in the shadows, something fast. Emily froze. She couldn't see, could barely breathe. She ducked behind a table, pressed herself into the corner, and then she heard it. One more, just one more. Her hands trembled as she reached out in the dark, feeling the wall. But it was wet, sticky. She pulled her hand back and smelled it, blood. She turned toward the exit, and that's when she saw it. Bloody handprints, smudged across the wall, leading toward the door. She followed them slowly, carefully, her heart pounding. But when she reached the door, it wouldn't open. In the dim emergency light, she saw something on the floor, a shape. Still, she crept closer, and then she realized. It was her friend, eyes wide, a deep slash across the throat, a pumpkin carving knife still buried in the chest. Emily froze. The truth hit her. The killer was inside the building. Hands trembling, she pulled out her phone, dialed the police, but as soon as the call connected, silence. No dial tone, no voice, nothing. She had no choice. She ran, down the hallway, past the overturned chairs, past the trail of blood, to the only place she thought she'd be safe. The basement was cold. Damp. The faint smell of mold and earth filled her lungs. She fumbled for a light switch, but found none. Her phone's flashlight barely lit the room. And that's when she saw them. Photos, old, yellowed photographs scattered on the wall. Faces, so many faces, all the missing people. All taken on Halloween night. She stepped closer, heart racing, and then she stopped. There was one more photo, fresh, clear. It was her, taken that very day. Then she heard it, the sound of slow, heavy breathing. She spun around. Her flashlight caught nothing but darkness. But the breathing, it was closer now. She didn't wait. She ran up the stairs fast, heart pounding, adrenaline surging. She ran, slipped, fell, hit the floor hard, looked back. Nothing. Then, flash, he was there. A figure, tall, unmoving, his face hidden. She saw the mask, a hollow pumpkin face carved in jagged lines. But it wasn't clean. It dripped, thick black liquid oozing from the empty eyes. It wasn't a mask, it was a face, burned, melted, rotten. And in that moment, she understood. This wasn't human. The town's legend was true. Decades ago on Halloween night, a man was dragged from his home, accused of a crime he didn't commit. They tied him to a stake, set him on fire, and as he burned, he swore he'd return, one soul, every year, on the night they killed him. One more, every year, one more. Emily burst through the door and into the night. Rain soaked her instantly. She ran, not looking back. Her footsteps echoed down the empty street, the soft hiss of rain the only sound that followed her. The town was empty. Not a single light in a single window. No voices, no movement. Just the storm. Then she saw it. A police car parked at the corner. Headlights dimmed through the rain. Relief washed over her. She sprinted toward it, faster, closer. She yanked the door open and froze. The officer was slumped over the wheel, his eyes open, lifeless, his throat cut clean through. She felt it before she saw it, that same heavy presence, the same smell of burned earth. She turned, and he was there, silent, watching, closer than before, his hollow pumpkin face dripping black across the wet ground. One more, every year, one more. Some say she made it out, that she ran until she couldn't run anymore, but never spoke of what she saw. Others say she vanished like the rest, her body never found. But the next morning, the town woke to find one more name missing, and another pumpkin left on a doorstep. She never stood a chance. The next morning, the town woke up to find another name missing, another pumpkin left quietly on a doorstep, and no one ever saw Emily again. So, if you're ever out on Halloween night and you hear footsteps behind you, don't look back, because it might already be too late. Would you dare to spend Halloween in this town? Tell me in the comments. Please like and subscribe for more of this content. What do you think the Halloween killer really is? A man consumed by revenge? A spirit of something long forgotten? Or something far worse?